Hi, do you know how the internet works? Well, if you don't, good news! I am going to tell you how the internet works today. Well, right now actually. Did you know that just to watch this YouTube video that your internet data has traveled across thousands of kilometers? Perhaps from where you are right now all the way to America to the YouTube data centers. How does that work using the internet? So, let's get started. Let's start with this question. Let's say that I'd like to send this beautiful picture from my internet connected laptop to your internet connected PC. How does that work using the internet? Well, first of all, you will need an internet connected device. And in the internet, we like giving these things special fancy names. So any internet connected device is called a node. The nodes are things like your laptop, your PC, your mobile phone, your smartwatch, any device that is connected to the internet. Now, here's another question. How are all of these nodes speak to each other? How are they able to call each other? This is exactly like, how are humans able to call each other? How can I call you? Yes, for me to be able to call you, I will need to know your phone number, right? Well, this is exactly the same thing for nodes. For nodes to be able to call and speak and communicate with each other, each node needs to know the phone number of the other node. Now, once again, in the internet, we like giving things fancy names, and so this phone numbers, when it comes to nodes, we call them IP addresses. IP addresses. Now, an IP address is nothing but unique numbers. An IP address can look something like this, or maybe this, or this, or this, or even that one, or all of these put together. And so to summarize this, first of all, an internet connected device is called a node, and each node must have a unique IP address. Now back to our original question. How can this picture get sent from my internet connected laptop to your internet connected PC? How does that work using the internet? Well, I've got news for you, my friend. Your node or your computer or mobile phone or laptops or any internet device, they don't speak pictures. Neither do they speak videos. Nor do they speak audio or video or any of that. They just speak two things. They only speak ones or zeros. Indeed, this modest data unit is called a bit, and the bit can be either 0 or 1. And my friends, we can use electricity to represent 1 or 0. You see, in the electrical circuits, when the light is on, that is 1, and when the light is off, that is 0. Okay, so first of all, since computers don't speak pictures, we need to convert this picture into a sequence of ones and zeros. But how does that work? What is a picture, actually, technically speaking? Well, a picture is nothing but a collection of tiny small squares. Each square is called a pixel. Each pixel has a color, and each color has a number. And that number can be very easily mathematically converted into binary or into ones and zeros to a language that computers can understand. Okay, so the next thing is we must convert this picture into a sequence of ones and zeros, and since we will have a very long sequence of ones and zeros, we must chop these ones and zeros into smaller parts. Each part is called a packet, an internet packet. Now each internet packet must have the source IP address, and most importantly, it must have the IP address of the destination, because it needs to know where it is going to, right? And then you get all of these packets and you route them across the internet. So here's a question: does the internet packets use the exact same route from the source to destination? No, they don't. The internet packets can use different routes from the source to destination. Indeed, there is something called routers. These routers, they drive and route these packets from the source to the destination using different paths. Okay, and so that means at the destination, these internet packets will arrive out of order, and of course they will also arrive at different times. Indeed, some of these packets might get lost or stolen. Sorry, not stolen, but delayed. These packets can either get lost or delayed. Now there is something called, again back to the internet terminology, there is something called the TCP, which is an internet protocol that makes absolutely sure that each lost packet is retransmitted again. Okay? And so at the destination, we now need to reorder the packets. And even most importantly, since we have nothing but buckets of ones and zeros, we need to convert these ones and zeros from their zeros and ones into the original format. In our case, back to the original picture format. And finally, display them to the user. So they look like this. Okay. By the way, here's a question. Who do you think has invented the internet? Is it you or is it me? The inventors of the internet, Vint Cerf and Bob Kahn. Thank you all very much indeed.